In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps to create activity 629, a conveyor link. As with all drawings, we start with our standard layout. You'll want to fill in your name, conveyor link, the date, scale. For this one, we are going to use 1:1. Yep, 1:1. And then drawing number, be that either number 1 or 6-29, whatever your teacher prefers. So let's take a look at this drawing. Okay. Oh. Well, I marked my center like I normally do. There is no dead center on this. How do I figure out where I'm going to place this thing? Well, let's just kind of do some estimation here. So I can see it's 6 inches wide. And I got this little radius sticking out here. It says 0.81. That's about an inch. So it's going to go a little bit beyond an inch here, a little bit beyond an inch here. That's going to make it about 8 inches wide. Okay, so that we could center no problem, right? We could center that. If I got 6 end to end, I could do a 3. That's no big deal left and right, but top down. So we got about an inch down here, which gives me another inch here. So that's about 2 inches, 4 inches, about 6 inches. Or we could also look at it this way. This line here, this radius is 3.88. If I pulled that curve around, I would have about 2. So that's almost 4. And then I'm going to add this radius, which is 0.75. So, okay, 4 3/4 is about 5. And this I said was about 1. So again, yeah, about 6 high. So the center would be about here. So if we drop maybe 2 inches down from center, I can put this reference line and I'll be okay. I'll be about right. Okay, so we're going to drop about 2 inches down. Grab my T-square and my triangle and come down 2 inches. Let's see, get my 0. Down 2 inches. So this line, this dot right here will mark my horizontal line, and I still need to come down a little bit less than an inch. It looks like I have enough room. I still have room for a dimension underneath it. So yeah, that looks good. Before I start, I just want to always double check. Does that look good? So this is going to get in my way. I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a construction line, and I will use this to start my reference. So at the middle of this line, I still have that mark to remind me. There's my middle. I was going to come over, let's see, 6 wide total, so 3 left, 3 right. All right, let's come up here. Let's go 3 to the left, 3 to the right. I've got 6 inches. Yep. So let's go ahead and put in center lines here. One there. One there. And with the T-square. Okay, so there's my center line. Let's go ahead and just extend this all the way using proper. I'm going to put a short. Get my center line going. It's a little bit off. And we're going to extend past in each direction. Get my T-square and do my vertical center lines. My references. Okay, so that's where I will start for the bottom of the conveyor link. I also want to drop off these reference lines, as you can see here, for this 15-degree angle and this 30-degree angle for the start and stop of this curved slot in the conveyor link. There's something that can move in between here on the conveyor, go up and down. So we have this whole, this curved, elongated shape. 15 degrees from horizontal, 30 degrees from vertical. "15 degrees from horizontal." Well, hold on now. How do I do the 15 degrees? That's going to get me 30 degrees, not 15 degrees. If I do this line here, it's going to get me 30. I'm just going to draw this in for a second. That's 30 degrees. I need 15. I don't have a 15 triangle. That's 45 plus a... No, that's going to get me the wrong... I need half of that. Let me think back to geometry class. I want 15. 15 is half of 30. I need to get half of this line. Half of this line. So how can I do that? I need an equidistant point. All right, so I'm going to come out. I don't care how far. Let's come out this way. Put a mark here. Like that, right? And then I go to each of those points and I make an arc somewhere way out in the distance. And I see where they intersect. Yeah? I remember my geometry right. So I make some sort of distance on each of my lines. I come out to those points and make two curves where they intersect. And grab a straight edge. I'm not using this with my t-square. It's free float. Now I have free float line that bisects my 30-degree arc that I drew before. So I'll use a construction line. Just gentle line first. I'll go back and take a look at it. Oh, that looks so good. And you know what? I'm gonna just to double check. I'm gonna grab one of these protractor things. All right, so let's put the 0 right at the 0. And we're gonna measure, hang on. 0 right at 0. That's where he is. All right, so the center of my protractor, 0, 10, 20, should be halfway in between the 10 and... Oh, look at that. It's right there. Thank you, Mr. Lukemeyer, my high school geometry teacher. You actually helped me learn something useful. All right, there's my 15-degree construction line. Now I can erase this 30. I don't need that one anymore. And these construction arcs, we're going to get in the way. And this doesn't need to be that one. Okay. All right, and then the other one was 30 degrees from vertical. All right, so that's going to be 30 degrees this way. This way, 30 degrees. I don't have, oh, I can use another triangle. Yeah. Get cameras in the way. All right, well. Pause right here. See what I got to set up there? T-square, another triangle. I got my 30 degrees. Okay, still pausing. The magic of television. Look at that. 30 degrees. 30 degrees. And of course, I will draw them with proper center line, long dash, short dashes. Let's just go ahead and extend this out for reference. That's 30 degrees. That's 15. All right, so I've done step 1 as it recommends on my worksheet, draw my center lines. Step 2, draw in my circular arcs at each of the points. I'm going to start with the bottom left one. So this first outer ring, ooh, where is that? Okay, let's see. It's this. Oh, it's the same as the one on the right. It says radius 0.81 from center out. Wow, radius, that's what I need to set my compass to. 0.81. 0.81. What the heck is that on a fractional ruler? Well, I could start guessing fractions and dividing them and see, or, oh wait, Mr. K gave me this handy-dandy conversion chart here. Let's see what we got here. We're in decimal. 0.81. 0.81. All right, 0.8125 or 0.7968. 0.81 is a little bit below this and is closer to 0.8125 than it is to 0.7968. So I'm going to go with this one. 13 sixteenths. 13 sixteenths. 13 sixteenths. Measure 13. Pull this up a little bit so you can see. 13 sixteenths. 13 16. Where are my 16s? This is a 32 scale. So 13 16. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 sixteenths. Right, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 13 sixteenths. No, I didn't set it right. There it is, 13 sixteenths. Can you see that? Can you zoom in? I don't know, but that's 13 sixteenths. And then I'm going to do curve. We're going to go from top all the way to the left to the bottom. We'll do the same thing on the right, top all the way around to the right. You can see I did not make my center line long enough. Oh no. Erase. Do it again. My compass shifted. Off center point. You know what, since I have to pick it up anyway, just extend this a little bit further. Okay. It's okay if you go past, you can always erase it, right? Nobody will ever know. Except Miss K, she knows everything. All right. There we go, 13 sixteenths. Okay, now my little circles. It says 2 of them, 2x, I got 2 of them. The diameter of each of them is 0.56, 0.56, so that's a little bit above half. 0.56, well that's really close to 9 sixteenths, more than 9 sixteenths. Wait, no, that's diameter. Diameter? 0.56. I need half of 0.56. Half of 0.56. So if I take 0.56 and I get half of that, it's 25, 26, 28. 0.28. 0.28. Well, that's like 9/32. Okay. 9/32 for the radius. 9 of these little 30-second lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30 seconds. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 9, 30 seconds. And I'll do one here. This is a full circle on the left. Full circle on the right. 9, 30 seconds. All right, so we are now going to draw in this arc that is the construction line for the center of this transit. Radius 3.88 from center out to construction. 3.88. Okay, 3, I can do 3, no problem. 3, it's the 0.88 I got a problem with. So let me just go ahead and set 3. Now, if you want, you know what? On this engineering ruler, to get you closer, this says 32. There's another side of here that says 10. That's actually decimal inches, so I could get it close and do 3.8 and get it close, but that's not as precise. If we were only going to 1 decimal point, I'd say use it, but since we're going to 2 decimal points, 0.88, 0.88, 0.875, 0.906, 0.88 is closer to 0.875, 7/8. 3 and 7/8. 3 and 7/8. I just had to move it a little bit. There we go. 3 and 7/8. And that is going to start on the bottom right. And we're going to go past our 15 line, past our 30 line for constructions. Just like that. Now this, of course, will want to be a construction, so you'll need long, short, like that. Because it is a construction and it does have a fun little center line. So I'll just put some of those in right now. You did not see me freehand that. All right. Okay, so we've got the little curvy loop thing at the bottom and top of these 15s and 30. We have a curve, and it tells me here. Ooh, it doesn't tell me. What is this? What does it tell me? It tells me the thickness of this. I'm going to call it transit. The thickness of this hole, this weird looking loopy thing, transit, is 0.5 of an inch thick. So that means if I were to go all the way across this curve at the bottom, it'd be 0.5. That's kind of like a diameter if it was a circle, but it's an arc. So the distance from center out would be half of 0.5, right? Yeah. Half of 0.5. Half of 0.5. That's 0.25. That's a quarter. I could do that. Let's see here. There's 0.5. 0.25. So we'll take it on our 15 line here. Draw an arc. Semicircle. Half a circle. And we'll do that to the right of our 30-degree line. Boom. Okay. So now they recommend drawing in the outer curve of the outside edge of the conveyor link. Oh, it tells me here radius 0.75. Well, no conversions there. 0.75. That's 3/4 of an inch. 0.75 is 3/4. And this arc starts and stops the same as the other one. And I can see already that my construction arc of 3.88 did not go far enough. So we'll make it a little longer. That right spot. Yep. How's that? That look better? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now what? Aha! Well, I'm going to start connecting these lines. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start drawing a curve with my compass from these little lines, and you can see the curve of this compass comes back to the same. It's parallel to this curve of the 3.88. If it's parallel to the curve of the 3.88, that means it has the same center point, which means it's concentric. So I can just take my compass and put the pivot point at the center of the 3.88 and move the line down to the bottom of this curve and make a tangent curve like so. And I can move it up to the top of the little curve and make a tangent curve as well. That's dark. All right. Now I can do that for the top too, because it's parallel. I don't do construction here. I know it's solid. I don't know from here. I'm going to go a little lighter. And the same thing at the bottom. At some point, the curve changes, so I'm going to stop there. Okay, what else do I know? Well, I know this is a nice horizontal. I'll just drop in the bottom using my T-square right there. Make those curves blend in. And I know the top of this is going to be straight for a while. So I'll just draw a construction line in until I know where they meet. So now I've got a curve on both of these. This is going to blend into a curve coming back. This is going to blend into a curve. We've got like a fillet and a roundover kind of thing. The question is where? Where does it go? I've got a 1.25 curve that has got to fit in between all of those. 1.25 curve radius. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this, where's my compass? This outside curve. I have got to find where this point is. Where does this 1.25 radius, where does it live? I know it's 1.25 above this bar, right? So I can just measure 1.25 of it. Where'd my T-square? There we go. All right, make sure this ruler is nice and okay. So I know it has to end 1.25 on this line. So it has to be 1.25 above it. So I'm just going to come over here and measure up 1 1/4. Put a little line. All right. So it lives somewhere here. You get a little tiny faint construction line. Somewhere there. Somewhere on that line it has to be. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 1.25 on my ruler. That's the radius is going to be, right? Yeah, 1.25. 1 1/4. 1 1/4. And I'm going to come along this line. I should have extended this all the way. See where they intersect. There we go. So I'm going to start where this construction horizontal that is 1.25 above the top of this bar, where it meets there. I know this is 1.25 as well. I'll check it. I wiggled it. Did just a little bit. Okay. And I'm actually going to measure backwards from the curve where it intersects this horizontal line and make a mark. That is the center of the curve. Now I can erase all the rest of this. Look at that. And I can move my compass and put the pivot point at my new X and draw a tangent curve between these two lines. I'm going to draw a little bit past it so you can see it, and then we'll just erase the rest. Okay, so let me just kind of erase. The rest of this that we don't want. So you can see my curve here continues on and then gets picked up by this curve, which then continues on. This is a 1.25, like so, until it gets to this horizontal. Just like that. All right, that's one. Okay, next one. 0.75. So it ends on this line, so I'm going to come up 3/4 of an inch. 0.75. Triangle. Use the same technique as we did on the other one. Let me flip this over. So let me just pick a number here. All right. 0.75 higher than that number. It's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Put a little reference mark. Using my T-square. Draw up a construction line that is parallel, 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to set my compass to 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to come along this curve. Mark. Turn it around. Connect these two curves together. Blend in my lines a little bit. Erase what I don't need. I do need my center point because I'm going to use that for dimensioning. I need those two center points. Okay, so I've drawn in the arc. Now all I got to do is dimensioning. You can do dimensioning. We've got annotation here. It's horizontal. All of our dimensions are horizontal. Just make sure you have room. Don't forget your leader lines start on the edge of the diameter, 30 or 60. I would, are these 45? 45. Yeah, that one's 45. That one looks like it's 30 off vertical. There you go, 629 conveyor link.